Throughout my life, I fought many battles. There were moments of loss, but I never imagined that betrayal could be this devastating. When someone you've given your years of effort and love to completely disregards it, it consumes you. But my story isn't just about betrayal. This is the story of a man defending his honor and worth. And it all started with one word from my wife's lips, Grant. Before I dive into the story of what unfolded between my wife, me, and this man, don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. My name is Caleb. I'm 52 years old, and I've spent my entire life working hard to build something. I lost my father at a young age, but I managed to take over his small garage and turn it into a business. Today, I own a small car dealership. It's nothing extravagant, but it's something I built with my own two hands. People know me for my honesty, and that means everything to me. I met Ella 25 years ago. Back then, she was a second-year law student. I admired her intelligence, ambition, and the strength she showed despite all the hardships she faced. We fell in love quickly and got married. Our life wasn't perfect, but it was solid. I worked twice as hard to help her through law school while raising our kids, Jake and Ryan. I took on the roles of both father and mother as she climbed the ladder in her career. I focused on growing my business. Seeing my family happy meant the world to me. But last year, everything changed. Ella received a job offer from a major law firm. Higher salary, a prestigious position, and an office with a city view. She was thrilled. Once she joined the firm, she kept talking about her new boss, Grant. He's an amazing leader, so smart, she'd say. At the time, I wasn't the jealous type. I trusted her. After all, we had 25 years of history together. But over time, I started noticing changes. At first, they were small things. She began dressing more elegantly, coming home with the scent of a foreign perfume. She was glued to her phone, constantly hiding something. Still, I thought there might be a reasonable explanation. Maybe it was work stress, I told myself. Then her working hours grew longer. More business dinners. More weekend events. Every time I questioned her, the fake calm on her face slowly killed me. But the real blow came the night I decided to confront her. That night, after waiting for hours, she finally came home. I couldn't hold it in any longer. Ella, something's going on, isn't it? I asked. My voice was calm, but a storm raged inside me. At first, she gave evasive answers, but I kept pressing patiently. Finally, she admitted it. Yes, she said. I'm having an affair with Grant. In that moment, my world crumbled. 25 years of marriage, the responsibility of raising 2 kids, all the sacrifices, it all vanished in an instant. But what hurt the most was a complete lack of remorse on her face as she said it. If you think everything ended there, you're mistaken. The real story was just beginning. After Ella's confession, my life fell apart. But staying silent wasn't my style. For days, the same words echoed in my head. I'm having an affair with Grant. The life I had built over the years, a marriage founded on loyalty and effort, had been destroyed by one man's arrogance and Ella's betrayal. But I wasn't going to let it end this way. If Grant considered himself a real man, he was about to learn just how wrong he was. I wanted to see him face me. That morning, as I drove to work, a plan started forming in my head. As I parked my car at the dealership, her words from that night kept replaying in my mind. She had told me Grant was an alpha, a leader. A leader? My idea of leadership was about sacrifice, honor, and integrity. All Grant knew was how to steal and destroy. If his leadership needed testing, I'd be glad to oblige. Around noon, Grant showed up unexpectedly at my dealership, dressed in an expensive suit. He wore a smug grin on his face. Without hesitation, he walked into my office and sat across from me, crossing his legs with an air of superiority. Caleb, he began, his tone dripping with condescension. I think it's time we handle this matter like men. Real men. His words froze my blood. but I kept my composure. I sat quietly, waiting for him to continue. "We've formed a connection, an understanding," he went on. "Your life with her is over, Caleb. I can give her the life she deserves. You, on the other hand," he paused, giving me a disdainful once-over. "You're just a small-time car dealer. We can resolve this matter smoothly if you sign these papers." He placed a thick envelope on my desk. "These documents," he explained, "are for a divorce and a restraining order. Ella has already signed them. If you sign as well, this will all be resolved cleanly. Otherwise," his voice lowered, "I have a team of 20 lawyers ready to destroy you. Your business, your home, everything. Is it worth the fight?" At that moment, the rage inside me erupted like a volcano. I stood up, gripping the edge of my desk, and leaned toward him. "You talk about being a real man, don't you?" I said, my voice calm but menacing. "Let me show you what a real man looks like." Before he could respond, my fist connected with his face. I heard a crack as his nose broke, and he fell to the ground, his face a mix of shock and pain. "Listen to me carefully," I said as he writhed on the floor, blood dripping from his face. "This is my story, my life. You and Ella destroyed my marriage, but you won't destroy me. If you ever try to threaten me again, it'll be the biggest regret of your life." Grant scrambled to his feet and left my office without a word. But this was just the beginning. I still had to confront Ella and settle this once and for all. That night, when I got home, Ella was sitting in the living room. The look on her face is one I'll never forget. Was it guilt? Regret? I couldn't tell. But one thing was certain. The love I had for her was gone. Sharing the same roof with her felt unbearable. "I'm going to ask you something, Ella," I said, my voice calm but filled with restrained fury. 25 years, all the sacrifices, all the memories, all the effort. Do none of them matter? Do none of them mean anything? She lowered her head, silent for a moment. Then she took a deep breath and began to speak. "Caleb, you have to understand, I've changed. I started wanting more. I just felt like I was stuck in the same place with you. Grant said he could give me the life I wanted." Hearing his name again made my fist clench. "The life you wanted? Did you ever tell me you didn't want this life? Your happiness was everything to me, Ella. But instead of talking to me, you lived a lie." Her expression shifted, turning defensive and slightly angry. "Caleb," she said, "I made a mistake. Yes, but Grant, I don't have anything with him anymore. I didn't even defend him when he said you beat him up in your office." Her admission didn't calm my anger. It only fueled it. "Grant isn't the problem anymore. That's over. The issue now is you. This marriage is over, Ella. You and I are done." My words hit her hard. Tears welled up in her eyes, but they didn't move me. I'd spent years wiping those tears away. Now, her regret meant nothing to me. "Caleb, don't do this to me. I love you," she said, her voice trembling, but her words were hollow. "If you love me, Ella," I said firmly, "you wouldn't have done this to me. This story ends here. Tomorrow morning, all your belongings will be at the door. I've cut off your access to our accounts. Take what you need and leave. We're finished." Her panicked expression was strangely satisfying. A woman who had spent years belittling me and searching for an alternative was now desperate to find a way out. "You can't do this to me," she muttered. "I'll hire a lawyer and take everything you have." I smiled quietly and pulled the divorce papers from my jacket pocket. "If you sign this, you won't lose anything. The only thing you'll get is what you're carrying right now. But if you push me, I'll push back. You forgot who I am, Ella, but I won't let you forget." At that moment, I saw true defeat on her face. She realized the weight of my words. She took the papers and began reading them in silence. Tears welled up in her eyes, but this time, I didn't lift a finger to wipe them away. By morning, she was gone. The house was empty. The rooms, once filled with happy memories, now engulfed in silence. But I felt at peace. Despite everything that happened, I had preserved my dignity and identity, and that meant more than anything.